went here, but then they went around that way. This is so complicated. How do I figure out what exactly is going on? Hey, Shabbat Shalom. My friends, I am deeply immersed in the journey of the Jewish people. You see, the Jewish people traveled in the desert for 40 years, and this week's Torah portion is called Journeys, where Moses reminds the Jewish people about all the different trials and tribulations that they had during the 40 years in the desert. Moses lists for the Jewish people the name of every single one of the 42 stops that they experienced. Well, guess what, my friends? This is not history. This is our story as well. In our own lives, we also have so many journeys. Come join me. I'm about to get into my Jewhawk mobile and go on a trip. When I open up this week's Torah portion, I'm reminded that when Moses tells the Jewish people about the 42 journeys that they took in the 40 years in the desert, he doesn't just talk about the happy times. He doesn't just talk about the journeys that were uplifting and inspiring. He also reminds them of those stops along the way that were bitter and difficult. I think there's a great message here for me and for you. And that is, when we think about the journeys in our own lives, don't just focus on the good times. Recognize that the trials that we've had, the difficulties that we've faced, the challenges that we encountered, they were a positive part of our journey as well. Because every time we had a failure, it was an opportunity for growth. Every time we struggled, it was a diving board. It was a springboard for further growth. So when we talk about this week's Torah portion, and we think about the journeys in our own lives, it's so important to remember, my friends, it's not just about the good times. We need to acknowledge that there's nothing as whole as a broken heart. The difficult moments that we experience, the hard challenges that we face, they become a crucial part of our journey. Don't get stuck when you feel like you're down. Use that moment, harness it to lift you up, to propel you to even greater heights. And here's the good news. After all those journeys, ultimately, just like the Jewish people, you and I will make it to the promised land. So keep moving, keep climbing, keep going. Don't get stuck. Don't feel bad. Utilize the hardships to reach an even greater place. I'll meet you at the promised land. Shabbat Shalom.